The best mom he's ever met gives him the best scarf. From that day on, he wears the scarf and begins visiting her home frequently to spend time with them. However, as he considers this, his parents are not pleased. He visits Beth far too frequently, and one day he hears noises coming from inside. He presses the calling bell and asks the best parents to open the door, but they don't, so he becomes anxious and peeps through the window. He notices Beth inside the house there. Startled, he begins pounding on the door to get it open. Jack's brother at that moment. There arrives Kyle, a security guard. Kyle doesn't believe the officer when he tells his brother that he saw Beth inside the house and that she is still alive. Kyle calls Maury and knocks on the door, thinking that he is making it up because he can't let her go. Maury answers without opening the door, reassuring him that everything is okay. Jack asks Kyle to look around the house, but Kyle ignores him and tells him to go. Jack breaks into Beth's house one night because he is curious, and instructs him to depart. He pushes his hand and ignores him. After entering the house, he discovers Beth's mother Jeannie hiding Beth beneath the closet. When he sees how shocked Beth is, he finds it difficult to comprehend what her best parents are doing to her. He queries Beth, how is it possible? However, it appears that she is unaware of her own demise. He doesn't respond when I ask further, clearly concerned about this and what's happening. Then, as a result of Jack's confusion, they all begin to argue. Jack believes Beth is trying to end their relationship, which is why she was lying about her death and was only acting. Upon arriving at his house, though he claims to have seen Beth in her home and that she is still alive, nobody finds him credible. When he visits Beth's grave the following day, he discovers a large hole there. Did Beth just leave there? He goes directly to Maury and makes the inquiry. Then he responds that he doesn't know how it happened, but that day after they finished playing chess, Beth returned home. Jack isn't understanding Jeannie when she walks into the room and says the same thing. Thus, the three begin debating this once more. Upon seeing Jack, Beth becomes ecstatic and joyful. After that, she shows him to her room so they can speak. He is still afraid of her, so she asks him why he is acting in this way. Does she recall anything from the past week? He asks her. In response, she says she's not sure. They both begin kissing, and she tells him how much she loves him. Now that he's feeling normal, Jack tells her how he feels, and they both seem really happy. Jack then suggests that the two of them go hiking, but her parents warn him against Beth going outside in the morning. Then, as Jack and Beth settle down next to the pool, they begin to brag. It suddenly occurred to him that his best thigh might be infected. Sarcastically, he asks, is she going to eat him up by listening to me, or does she just forget what she was saying earlier? After spending some quality time together, Jack feels strange about this and returns home the following day. The postman visits him before he meets Beth at her house, gives him a bunch of letters, and leaves. Since he was in school, Jack has not seen him. After being shocked to see the man after such a long time, he goes to Beth's place and counsels Maury to inform Beth of her passing, but he is reluctant to inform his daughter, since this will greatly agitate her when Beth comes in. Her father warns them against going outside in the sun and asks Jack to take her hiking. He tells them not to listen, and they both leave. They visit a park and experience intimidation there. Together, they have a great time. Beth's face is flushing and starting to show some scars. When they returned, he saw the scars and became enraged with Jackie for having warned him not to add more sunlight. He disagrees, and after they get into another argument, Jack tells him to leave and warns him not to. He then tells him once more that they should tell Beth about everything. Meet Beth once more, but at night, he ignores him. He enters Beth's house undetected and drags her out. Later, they go to a beach where he impresses her by singing and playing his guitar. She seems a little romantic at first, but all of a sudden her attitude shifts and she gets agitated. She started screaming and smashing things because she was so furious. After a while, she falls. Jack gives her a hug and consolation, but when she gets agitated again, he pushes her and falls to the ground. He tries to comfort her once more, forcing her to sit in the car while he abruptly turns on the radio. When Beth hears the music, she relaxes and calms down. Once they arrive at her house, she makes him have sex with her. She pushes him toward intimacy after he initially rejects it due to her strange behavior. Then Jack meets Erica. Her mother called her here, a childhood friend, so he could let her go. Jack noticed the waiter as soon as they started talking. Jack then asks Erica, in a strange way, if she has noticed anything, that people who have died are coming back to life. After a while, they leave the restaurant and head somewhere, and he doesn't understand what he is saying. Suddenly, Beth moves in front of Jack's car, and he hits her by accident. When Beth emerges, she appears to be in perfect condition. He attempts to get her out of his car after realizing that she is over her. It does not appear that she was nearly hit by a car. She strikes up a conversation with him. As soon as Erica sees Jack, she arrives and strikes up a conversation with him. When Beth discovers that Jack is spending time with a different girl, he tries to tell her that Erica is a friend from his youth and introduces the two of them. Because of this confusion, Erica becomes perplexed because Jack's mother has already informed her that Beth is dead. Then he leads her to her grave and informs her that she was bitten by a snake while hiking and died a few days ago, only to resurrect. Jack tells her that she has changed a lot and that she now becomes aggressive over little things, which greatly perplexes her because it is impossible for dead people to come back to life. When she hears this, she becomes enraged, pushes him, takes his car, and drives off. Jack is shocked to see his grandfather there when he gets home because he passed away years ago. Kyle desires to shoot him. However, his parents put an end to it because they too find it incomprehensible that the dead could come back to life. The previous occupants of their home arrive at that precise moment. They are currently living as well. As Jack realized that things were getting out of control, he suggested that everyone leave. He informs Mori over the phone that both his grandfather and the house's previous owners are still living. When he visits Mori at his house, he asks Jack to speak with Beth and persuade her that she is still alive. Jack then informs him that he is the one who can fix this because Perline has completed all of this. Additionally, he counsels him to approach her and discuss this with her. Furthermore, he finds it unacceptable to hear Jack say that he will only speak with Beth if he provides a line address, and he accepts. After that, the two of them head to Beth's room, where they discover that Beth has killed a man right in front of them. Seeing that she is not acting in her right mind, Jack becomes extremely afraid of her and won't speak to her. She is shattering everything. Jack Stakes is about to leave when he gives Mori Perline's address. At that moment, Beth enters the vehicle. He must thus bring her along when he goes to the address and makes the request. He enters the house as Beth gets into the car, but Perline is not there. He is informed by her cousin that she left a few days ago and that he is unaware of any zombie activity there. Jack learns that she left that evening because Mori had been harassing her. When he eventually gets to his car, when Jack tries to stop him, he is here to take Beth with him. He renders him unconscious by striking him with his gun. After that, he leaves in the morning, taking Beth with him. After waking up, Jack gets in his car and drives back to his house, where he discovers another zombie on the couch that fled when it saw him. After discovering blood in his home, he looks for his family and discovers a pile of burnt corpses, leading him to believe that his parents have passed away. He decides to go to Beth's place after becoming extremely discouraged at the scene. He notices more that there are bloodstains on his car. Upon entering the house, he discovers that Jeannie has fastened Beth to the microwave. He assists Jeannie after becoming extremely alarmed when he discovers that she has cut her hand trying to feed her. Inquiring about Maureen, she informs him that he has already been killed by Beth. After hearing this, he asks her to leave so that he can take care of Beth. He approaches Beth and right now she becomes very aggressive when he tells her to calm down. He assures her that he will bring her along. After hearing this, she concedes to accompany her. With the microwave on her back, he gets up. Just as they are ready to leave, Kyle appears and tries to shoot her. Jack interrupts and queries him regarding their parents. Kyle responds that they are safe at this point because he killed the zombies or dead bodies he saw at their location. For his protection, he then hands him his gun. He advises her to fire back. After telling her how much he loves her, Jack takes her hiking. He then shoots her after pointing his gun at her. With the microwave at her back, Beth tumbles off the cliff. He killed the love of his life with his own hands, which makes him very sad. After that, Jack visits his family, and he is overjoyed to see them still alive. His parents apologized to him because they had previously not accepted him. The following day, he meets Erica, who was so distraught that she had killed her grandfather by hand. He visits Maury and Beth's grave and conducts their funeral. He goes there with Erica, and since they're now dating, they both went out to dinner together afterward.